This is a very different start to the type of video that I wanted to film and that I had planned to upload for this edition of Wololo Wednesday. I wanted to film a deep clean kind of monthly reset video for you guys, and it didn't work out. I had been experiencing some emotional turmoil, of which made me want to speak about something that has been on my heart for a very long time. So if you're not interested in this interlude of me trying to clean my apartment, you can just skip over to the timestamp on the screen and we can get going with the discussion. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and all the good things. Thank you again for watching this video, and I hope it was good for you. I hope it was what you needed.
But if you're alone, then say my name, say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. If you ain't running game, say my name, say my name. You acting kinda shady, baby. Why the sudden change? Say my name, say my name.
Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another edition of Wololo Wednesday. I am Thando Sithole. If you're new here, welcome. And if you aren't, Sana, we have the mic on. We have to speak on a stress topic. I don't know what it is and what I'm doing, but clearly I haven't lived up to the ideal level of transparency, because at least once a week somebody's asking me a different question about how I moved into the place that I've moved into, how I'm finding living in Joburg, how I'm managing life and content creation, how I'm doing it up, living it up. And I feel like there's so much romanticizing around living alone, moving out, furnishing your first big girl apartment and all those things, and those are such big blessings, and that's what we aspire to and want in life. But there are so many layers to living on your own. There are so many layers to just doing life as a 20-year-old in economic crisis in today's world. And we already know that even living alone as a woman has become so unsafe in the country, with all these different things happening to Abantu Besifazane. It gets really, really tough. So before you think about moving out, rather, you've already thought about it and you've probably clicked on this video to hear somebody convince you otherwise. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. I'm here to show you what you don't see in the cute aesthetic TikToks. So first of all, I want to say and let you guys know that me moving out was never really a plan for me. I'm not one of those people that hated living in Durban, like how people shit on people shitting on Durban all the time. I get bored of light taking, there's nothing to do. I was never one of those people. I was the person that thought I would work and live at home, even build like an outside area. At some point, you guys saw, if you were here on my channel for a while, I had taken over the granny flats Yasekaya and made that into my own like little studio / office where I would go to study, to work, to do content, because I had made peace and I had just saw myself living and stay with my parents for as long as I could, up until I obviously got married. And even marriage at the time, and I'm talking 2021, 2022, I was not even thinking about marriage like that, just because I knew myself and I knew how much of an ambitious and how many aspirations I had in life, and I just didn't know if I could find a partner, a male suitor who could kind of complement that with me and help build that for me. But now I'm older, a little bit wiser, and I know a little bit more about marriage, and to say Uguti, it is definitely possible. In fact, that's the whole point. The things that you don't have, your partner will bring in your life. The things that they don't have, you will bring to your partner in their life, and you guys can literally 10x whatever you guys have together and build it into something that's even better than what could have been, even if you were alone in doing that thing. So for me personally, I just thought, and I was so certain that I was gonna live at home. And then there was a time when we had traveled to Benoni with my family, and we were staying in this typical looking Johannesburg flat estate. And the thought came to me that time, oh damn, I could definitely live here. This is something that I could do. I could live alone. I could move out of home. And it was at that point where I started entertaining the idea.
I could so see myself visiting you here. Like, it's so cute. Okay, the green on the buildings kind of throws me off, but it's so I cute. Like I don't wanna pray. like to move out. Like I don't actually actively pray to move out or to find an apartment that I can live in and be blessed in. I don't feel like I'm necessarily ready for that. And I know when uNkulunkulu answers a prayer, sometimes you get a blessing, but it ain't that cute.
I had been so comfortable at work. It was my first job and I had such a strong relationship with the people that I was working with. My mom even felt that I was spoiled. There was even a time where my parents were basically thrusting into buying my first car. They were like, you have a job, you live in our home, you don't have any real responsibility outside of the fact that, yeah, you might pay for your expenses here and there. Like I pay for my medical aid, I contributed to my savings and my life plannings and all those different things, of which I had a financial planner to help me. If you want her contact, it will be below. I highly recommend her to everyone that contacts me about the same matter. Sis Zanele has helped me so much with my finances and different things like that and setting up myself for the future. I have a tax-free savings, I have a retirement annuity, and I also have life insurance. And I'm not married, I don't have children, so it's all set up to go to my sibling, my one sibling, should I die. My parents were just like, dude, you need to do something with your life. And I was scared, girl. I was scared. And in hindsight, I look back and I think to myself, honestly, that was so dumb of me to feel so scared, because it would be nice to have a car now that I'm living in Johannesburg and I don't have my parents to drive me to and from or wherever I'm going. I rely on public transport and Ubers. But it's a good thing that I actually didn't go through with it, because I don't think I could pay for a car and rent, girl. When I entertained the idea of moving to Johannesburg, I was blessed enough to get a job in a very big marketing agency. I worked for a media and media distribution and media buying agency in Johannesburg. They've worked on a lot of clients and a lot of brands that you know of that are household brands. And I have quite a few names under my portfolio belt that I could say, yeah, I've worked on an account with so-and-so and I've worked on an account with so-and-so. When I had decided to move, I moved for a salary that was much lower than I was getting paid at my previous job, because I was now coming into a new company as an intern rather than as a junior or a professional that actually had experience under their belt. Do I think that was a good idea? I feel like it was a good idea enough at the time, because I got my foot into the Johannesburg world, I got my foot into the Johannesburg industry, and I got my foot into the industry that I have a degree in, which is marketing. A lot of people ask me about how I found my job, how I did my job hunting. If you don't know, at some point I did have an adulting series where I posted CV tips and interview tips that I already had learned from getting my own job back in Durban and working for a recruitment agency, which meant that I kind of knew how hiring managers operated and what they kind of looked for. There are two things I will give you that I know for a fact that you're not doing right now. Number one, you're probably underselling yourself so much in your CV, but not including as much detail as you possibly could. Include as much detail, as much work-related detail. Obviously, when I got my first job, it was my first job. I had no other working experience, but I knew that I had completed tasks. For example, I was somewhat of a prefect in my high school. I added the tasks that I had in the tasks that I did in there, whether it was going to meetings with the principal regarding this. That is something that you have to do in the working world. You will have to go to your manager and have a meeting and report to them about different things that you've done. You are underselling yourself in that CV, and you have to know and understand that your CV is your employer's first impression of you before they even get to hear you and how you speak on the phone, and before they even get to meet you and see you face to face and speak to you in that way as well. It is your first impression and you have to make the most of it. That's number one. Number two, you're not putting your application out there enough. So now when I tell you that I was putting my application minimum of 5 places a day until I got my first job, a minimum, and I was putting in that work, I was making sure whether it needed 5 years of experience, 10 years of experience, or 6 months experience, I did not care. Okay, my CV was in there. My CV, and if I was putting in my CV for one role, there is a hiring manager that's looking at it like, okay, she might not be necessarily good for this role, but she's actually could be amazing for this role. Don't sell yourself short. Don't be scared. Put yourself out there. And I will also say this as my last point on this matter about CVs and job hunting. Rejection is a real thing and you will feel it, and it's not nice, but you'll have to go through it, because on the other side of that is a beautiful blessing. So I moved to Johannesburg. I'm getting paid much less than I was actually actually being paid before my previous job because of the fact that I'm new. I'm coming into an intern role. I'll work and I gain so much experience. But taking that lower pay and having to pay rent and then having to pay expenses was not cute at all.
I just did some math. I think I'm gonna have to go home. Because for some reason, when I left, I didn't load a new electricity voucher. So the electricity that I had ran out. So everything in my fridge is completely moldy. It is disgusting.
I cannot tell you the amount of dates that I've worked myself into and that I'm trying to work myself out of. Sana, just know when you are watching those ads on my channel, it's a good cause. It's complimented me. They haven't happened yet, but they're gonna happen soon. Trust me. Please watch them because girl, when I tell you, yeah, it's actually so bad, and I'm trying to work myself out of it. There's a whole lot of financial burden that you're gonna have to take care of. But obviously, behind every burden is a blessing. Unfortunately, a double-edged sword. You have to learn how to say no to your friends trying to take you out. You have to learn how to say no to yourself when you want some extra thing. You have to learn to sit down with yourself and be able to open your bank statement and say, that wasn't a good choice. I didn't make good financial choices this month. I didn't do my best to actually be responsible this month. You have to learn how to take some of that maintenance, your hair, your nails, do it yourself. Like you see me do my lashes now recently. You have to be able to adapt to the financial situation that you're going to probably find yourself in, because unfortunately for me, I was not blessed to have abazali that could support me in that way. And it's honestly not their fault. They advocated for me to stay home. Okay? And the West idea, yeah, you are going to take a lot of financial strain, which you wouldn't have to worry about if you're living at home. Because if you're living at home, I would like to think that your mom is there, she's taking some financial responsibility. Your father's there, they're taking some financial responsibility. And you're there, now you're able to as well add to that financial responsibility. And don't you dare call it black tax, because your parents weren't calling it child tax when they were raising you. Thank you. You have to be able to now think like an adult for sure. Because how I was living in Durban on the salary that I'm earning, on the same amount of money that I'm earning now, is not how I'm living here in Johannesburg. I've got the freedom to come in and out as I please. But should I? Should I do that? Should I go out today? Probably not. I should probably stay home. I should probably save my money to do one big maza over weekend. Or I'm not going to go out this month at all. I'm going to use my money to buy some furniture. You have to think about that and sit with yourself and say, are you financially responsible enough to now live on your own? And should things go left, who's gonna back you? You can only allow the people in your life to back you so much and to only such a point. You have to be able to now truly and honestly look at yourself and be real with yourself and say, yeah, no, I messed up this month. Ngilambile. The lights are out. And I've hit the lowest of the lows. I've experienced going to, hey, folks, y'all don't know Uguti Mina. There was at some point I had my lights cut off because I didn't pay my rent in time, and I didn't have the means to pay for my rent at that time. I had my lights cut off and I had a fridge filled with groceries, meat, sausages, chicken, all of those things were in my fridge. I would every day take out all the meat in my fridge, put it in a plastic packet, go to work, put the meat in the fridge freezer so that it wouldn't thaw and rot. And at the end of the day, I would take it all out and come back home and try to cook some of it. Where were you? Oh, where were you? Oh, where were you? Where were you? Yeah, but you see me living life in the vlogs, nah? Hey, but I'm chopping in the vlogs, aren't I? Yeah. Think about that. Think about that before you want to move out. Think about that. Think about what. Am I the type of person that crashes in crisis? Am I the type of person that struggles to think of themselves and think on their feet should something go off? Sana, things break in this apartment that I don't know how to fix a pipe. Okay, I had a father to do that in the house. Ekaya. I don't like when a bug is in the house. When a bug is in my apartment, I lose it. I can't, like, yo, Ginai doom, but like honestly, I might as well pack up and leave and let the bug and let the gecko have the damn apartment, because I can't sleep peacefully. Like I actually cannot. So these are real issues that can happen and that will probably happen to you if you are not actually ready to take on the full responsibility of having to live on your own. Don't rush this whole idea of now I'm living on my own, because unfortunately we do live in a time of social media, and you see these people and you might see me live life and do all these different things, but now I never want to be the reason why you've propelled yourself into a situation for you out of your season, out of when you're actually ready for something, because shame, yes, Thando. She just got a new apartment. It's a bigger apartment. So the fact that it's bigger only means that I have to clean more. The fact that it's so much bigger that I'm not living in a studio anymore means that there's so much more to do in this apartment. There's so much more money I have to spend on furnishing. There's so much more cleaning I have to do. There's so much more electricity I have to pay for. There's so much more water I have to pay for. There's just more. That's all it is. And there's no reason or there's no need for you to be putting yourself in tricky situations because you want that more. Okay, I just want to make sure that you are well equipped with everything. I don't think, me personally, I was equipped enough. I knew the financial strain that I had to go through, but I didn't know Oguti, when those financial tough times start hitting, start lasting, I'd actually be alone, crying on my own. Shout out to my friends being Twala throughout those seasons, because there was times where I would go to Alandes and I'd be like, dog, I'm not case, and I honestly, I just need a friend, dog. Like, I'm struggling. Can I chill pose? Can I chill your side? And she'd always have her door open for me. Shout out to my mngane for like trying as well. I know my family they have their own things. Like, life would be easier if I was living with them still to this day. Shout out to my mngane for helping me. Shout out to Malum K for paying for my nails. Shout out to Malum K and his wife. And I know they just had a baby. They just bought their first home. Shout out to my parents for even like trying Thailand this season. I know there's tough times as well happening in Kaya. And honestly, you will struggle with loneliness. You will struggle with wanting to have a person just to help you go through life. Because if you actually think about it, how the world is set up, it's set up for two. It's set up for a household. It's set up for people that are trying to manage a household off of at least 2-person income household. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all these different things that just are going wrong and that are tough and that are a struggle. Sometimes you will struggle with loneliness, and sometimes you will struggle with just wanting to have people by your side. And that is something that I would also like to point out. Make sure that you have a support system. Make sure that you have people in your life that will be there for you with tough times. And I know some people want to leave home under the pretense or under the guise of Wuti, ekayaba toxic. I get it. But are they really that toxic? And can you handle it? I'm so sorry to say. I feel like, especially with my generation, it can be so easy to be like, everybody at home is just bad people. Lalela, your parents are doing the best they could. There's no manual on how to raise children, and I am blessed enough to have parents that I could at least talk to, and parents that I can help guide them in how to raise me. And I would like to think I am a daughter that I'm not rude, I'm not umuntu or ozenzelayo nje all the time. I mean, I be slipping up sometimes, like here and there, you know what I'm saying, like. But I would like to think as well, we have that mutual relationship with my family. And if your main reason to move out is because they just don't want to let me go out, they just I just want to have my own space where I can come in and come out as I please, please stay home. Your time will come. Sit down, go to bed, cry in your room, walk out, go back to washing the dishes. It's just life. It's just how it goes. Because the way I would kill to go home, go into my room, wash dishes, and so I'm only loading the dishwasher. I don't have a dishwasher here. I don't have a washing machine here. I wash by hand. I wash in my apartment as a wuti. I wash in yeah, understand that. Yeah. So I would highly recommend to, like, by all means, pray for that support system, whether it be friends or families and strangers that you've met on the way. Personally, I am so blessed with that I have built up a support system long before I moved, and it is a support system, unfortunately, that I have to now be separate and far away from. Some of them, that is. I don't have to make new friends in Johannesburg. It would have been so much easier for me to like make friends had I studied in the city that I'm in now, but I stayed home. So I just didn't have that campus life or that campus experience because I was an online student. But girl, you need some good people in your life, bro. You need some good people that could carry you in tough times. Oh, trust me. I also want to just speak about, if you have now watched this video and you're thinking to yourself, let's go, boy, like I can handle all that. First of all, congratulations, well done. Yes, okay, now we're here. Now you're thinking about moving out. Now you're trying to look for an apartment. The best way that I found that has worked for me to look for an apartment is whenever I was driving to and from work from a place, I would always look around in the area. I would look at the apartments in the area. I would look at, now that I'm living here, this is how I also found this area. How I found an area where I could walk to and from my apartments to work, and there's a whole bunch of cute restaurants behind me. It's a nice central area with just so much to do in the area. I live in a very central, very like city girl area, and I was on the Goud bus, and every day I would drive past this very apartment. I would be like, it's right here and it's so close to her. So then I would start doing my research. Every time I would drive past in an Uber a nice apartment, I would write it down in my notes app. I would take it down, go home, research it. Hopefully they have rental spaces. If I have to buy, obviously angikho lapho yet, ngizoyithenga i-apartment yam soon and very soon. Apply for something, contact the agent, and that's how I landed my space that I'm in currently now, and I'm so grateful for. So if you are thinking of how can you find an apartment, it's simply just be very aware of your area. Look around. And then lastly, you've now found the right apartment, it's in the right space, you're enjoying it. Guard your space. Guard your space. Make sure that you are allowing people that are good vibes for your space into your space. Make sure that you're allowing people that are here to grow and add to your space. Make sure you are inviting people who will bring blessings into your space. Because I've learned that now that I'm living alone, Ekaya, my room was my safe haven in a way. The same goes for here. And just because now you can let people into your space, it can be very easy to let people into your space that are not good for your space. So I want to encourage you that even if you have your own apartment now, make sure that you are praying over that door, and that whatever faith that you have, some sort of faith that you can stand on and some sort of hope that you can lean on as well. And make sure that you are praying over the space, that whatever comes in and out of your space is just a good seed that's been planted. It's going to flourish and bear beautiful fruit all the time. Anyway, that's all from me. I hope I made you think about your decision as to why you want to move out of home. I hope that I have decentered the romanticization of living alone. I hope that once you've made this decision, Uguhle nokukhanya will follow you wherever you go, and you will make the correct decisions, and you'll make the responsible decisions in all that you do, in Jesus' name. And I hope that we can continue to chop life on these videos, on the vlogs that are to come, and you would have a better understanding of the behind the scenes and the goings on of my life. Anyways, guys, I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, I hope it made you think more than anything. And if you have anything else to share, please share it with everyone else down in the comments below. And I will see you in my next video on the next edition of Wolelo Wednesday.
This is